If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
Yes, to buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener.
Here you go. So we're doing a DJ stream for the big homie Nick.
It is his birthday. You see that there, DJ
the day
Nick?
of his birth. Super special that we get to spend it with him.
Senior Clay, unmuting now.
This one is called. Okay, the band is Edgar Winter Group, and the name of the song is Frankenstein. Thanks, babe.
Okay.
Apparently, this is an instrumental, so just sit back and listen.
Sit back, relax, and you shall be transported to another world.
Rock instrumental ever.
Oh, okay. Was it Edgar Winters, you said?
Edgar Winter Group.
All right, here we go. Go!
It's Edgar.
brother minister, gang, gang, gang.
Some of those sounds by the end remind me. Do you remember that scene on Willy Wonka where they're like?
I've never watched that movie start to finish,
What?
babe. You always bring up this show, this movie.
It's a movie.
And I always tell you
classic.
I've never seen it start to finish, not once.
So they do that where they start using all those weird things as everything's like popping up. Like that time period got very much into those sound effects.
Yeah.
Like now
the
we're
alien,
like, those are old sounds.
like
you know what I mean?
adjusting the
But,
dials on the
yeah,
spaceship.
like making everything sound really bizarre and weird and stuff. And then he's like throwing himself on the keyboard. The drummers. I like having two drummers. I like the battling of the drummers.
Yeah,
in
the back and
middle of
forth.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mom, we were homeschooled, and like I said, we didn't have much music. But my mom, like, she went through this phase where she wanted to like get us like more cultured. I don't know.
Culture. Get
And
you
so
more
she
culture.
brought us to well, Bates College is really close to where we live, which is a very nice college. So she started bringing us there when they would have like artists that would come and play. I had no interest at all. By the time she tried to get me into that, we were like 14. I don't know. And I was so distracted by that drummer, the faces that he was making when he was drumming.
Oh, yeah, why?
It's just so...
He was in his shit, man.
Yes,
he was on his thing.
Yes, but when you're a teenager, like, you know how, like, anything that's weird, like, sticks out to you and then you just feel like laughing? And so then we weren't taking it seriously. I think she gave up on it.
It's funny. I showed Johan Blind from Korn from Woodstock.
Oh, really?
And, you know, when the beat...
Yes, he was laughing.
It broke him up like he was laughing.
He was
so
laughing.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is like the most amazing moment in metal history right now. This is like metal and chemical purity, you son of a bitch. How dare you mock Jonathan Davis and Brian Head Welch. How dare you? But he thought, and of course I looked at it later, I'm like, oh, it's kind of funny. I mean, you're a grown man, you know, doing this shit with your head. I mean, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know,
but at the time, I was very offended.
One of the artists that was there one time was like doing like all this like weirdness with his head, and we were laughing so hard, like me and my sister.
Well, those college people sometimes, man.
No, it wasn't a college student.
It was at Bates.
Who it was? Yeah, but people could come perform there. It turned out to be, you remember that church that we used to go to? You remember the guy that he got something, he had to use a cane to get up on stage after a while. And then they ended up like putting in all this extra stuff for him. You know who I'm talking about?
Who? Do I know his name?
I don't know his name. He was the drummer at the church. I think he did the drumming. Yeah, he did the drumming, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah.
He was the guy.
That was him doing all the weird movements?
Yes. And then when I ended up going to the church,
oh my God. And you laughed in his face?
No, babe, we didn't laugh in his face. We were
so
laughing.
So wait, was he was doing the drumming?
Yeah, he was doing his little performance,
and then
he was like doing his head like all these like weird things, and we were like,
was he like headbanging? Like he was going with the music?
No, it wasn't headbanging. It was like just like weird like head movements, and the music was weird. And
was it jazz music?
It probably was. I really don't remember, babe. I just remember my sister and I were mocking it, and my mother was so offended that we were mocking the music. And because I think that not only were we mocking that person, but she also felt like we were mocking her because she was taking it so seriously to bring us there. And
you were.
We were just mocking the whole thing.
You completely mocked her.
She stopped bringing us there. And then years later, I ended up at this church, and then in walks this guy with the weird head movements, and he gets up on the stage. I was like, no. Oh, I'm going to have to worship, and I'm going to have to focus.
That's terrible.
So, yeah, I never did repent of that.
I mean, there's really not much can be done at that point. You know what I'm saying?
That's kids, you know. I was probably like 12, 13, 15, somewhere in there.
All right. What do you get this song? I'm actually really interested to hear what you're going to rate this thing.
I actually enjoyed it, and it had a sort of feel to it. Like, not necessarily like you... I don't know how to describe it. Like, my brother went through these. So we used to have a keyboard, and there was all buttons that we could do, and so we were always trying to make stuff sound like weird or obnoxious. Like that was the other families are creating actually great music. We weren't. We were like, what's the most annoying set of sounds we can put together and also make it sound good and funny? So this to me like reminded me of like when we used to do that, because they had so much going on. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it an 8.8.
A lot of this was, I felt like a lot of this was improv, especially when like the distortion sound. Yeah. I'm like, that's replicatable. But I felt like the little that obviously like had to be a little bit of improv, which once you figure out music and once you figure out timing and scales, you can improv for a very, very long time and have it sound good.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Like, like when I start ripping solos and shit, and you're like,
I know.
That's really, really good. Yo, we should do that one. It's like, it's complete. I just completely, and you think, oh my God, that sounds so brilliant.
Yeah.
You're really good at guitar. Why do you tell people you're not good? It's there's certain principles, and if you just hang out in that pentatonic, if you just hang out there, it's always going to sound good no matter what you do, as long as you follow certain rules. So you can do. It doesn't mean you're good, is what I'm saying. You can do like. Yeah,
that's hard because if I switch that to cooking, there are certain principles that just makes you a good cook. Like I was making a grilled cheese, and I was instructing Zoe on how to do it, and I said, okay, the side of the sandwich that's in the pan last has to get flipped and face up, because the sandwich is going to keep putting off heat on the side that was just on the pan, and if you put that side down on the plate, then the moisture is going to collect underneath it and it's going to get soggy on one side, so you have to flip it over. And the kids are like, whoa, like, how did you know that? And I'm like, trial and error. You get a soggy half a sandwich and you figure out, okay, why the frig did this happen? So like there's principles, but I feel like I'm a good cook, so those principles make me a good cook. And here you are, so that's the only thing that I can compare it to. You have certain principles, but then you're saying you're not a good guitar player, and I don't agree with you. I think that you are. And I think that you are because you understand the principles.
Okay.
That's what he thinks I'm wrong, and he doesn't want to argue about it. Whatever, Vin. Okay, what did you give it?
I gave this one a solid 8.7.
Oh, and I gave it an 8.8.
Ah,
we're very in sync tonight. Yeah, okay.
You even knocked out the 5.
I wasn't trying. I
That's
just left it there.
9 songs, dear listeners, but we got one more song.
Yeah, don't be sad. We've got one more.
Don't be sad. Happy birthday to DJ Nick. You have him to thank.
Procol Harmon is next.
We shall return. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.